Hi everyone, this is Noah Sandler from Mtgo Academy, and today we're going to be doing an Eldritch Moon 8-4. So let's jump into Q. Okay, so pretty insane first pack. Um, we have Ishkana, Voldaren, Pariah, and some other good cards. Herald, Boon of Emrakul, Fury Blade Vampire, Midnight Scavengers. Let me make the cards a little bigger. Okay, so yeah, as I went over in my top 15 bombs, Ishkana is really insane. Pariah is also very good. It would be the pick after Ishkana. We're passing a ton of good black. There is a grapple with the pass, though, and I think there's a decent chance at tables. Unfortunately, it's the only green playable in the pack that we're passing, but there's a ton of other really good cards in the pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's probably not going to come back, but that would be amazing with Ishkana. And usually you'd want to pair Ishkana with black, but we're passing a ton of black. It's probably the weakest color in the format, but if you pair with Ishkana, that can make a really good deck. So we're still incentivized to actually move into black at this point. There's Tree of Perdition, Sigardian Priest, another Nebelgaz Herald, and a Boon of Emrakul. I think Tree and Boon are pretty close in value. Tree is just a nice big defender, and then has a little bit of upside with making your opponent lose life early, which can be cool. I think Boon is probably going to be better. I mean, they're close. Having a nice defender is good for a deck with Ishkana. But I think Boon being an aura, getting into the graveyard, I think gives us a little more value. You can also take the Sigardian Priest, but I do want to make a preference for Black-Green Delirium since I've got the Ishkana, so I'm going to go with the Boon. Here there's a Permeating Mass, which could be interesting. Would probably go well in a deck with Ishkana. Just lock down the board early, and then later on you eventually get the Ishkana and Spiders out, and then you can win that way. But there's also Olivia's Dragoon and Prey Upon, and I think I'm just going to take the Prey Upon. Both of them can be good in Delirium decks. Prey Upon is removal that gets a sorcery into the yard, and Dragoon lets you just discard whatever cards from your hand to get to Delirium. So they're both good, but I think Prey Upon is better. Here we have Gavany Unhallowed, Lupine Prototype, a couple okay white cards, a Field Creeper. So very weak pack. I think it's between the Prototype and the Unhallowed. Now, I've had some pretty good success with Prototype in Black-Green Delirium decks. So for one, it is an artifact creature, so if you just mill it, might as well mill an artifact creature. It's on par with Field Creeper in that sense. But also with cards like Prey Upon, Rabid Bite, Clear Shot, just gives you a great card to target those with. There might be some minor wolf synergies, but also if you play cards like Olivia's Dragoon, Noose Constrictor, you can just discard your hand instant speed. So I think I'm actually going to take it here, but I think Gavany Unhallowed is also a fine pick. It's mostly because it's a weak pack. Usually Prototype will wheel. And here, nothing great for our current archetype. Impetuous Devils is the best card, followed closely by Dragunder. Terrarion would work well in Black-Green Delirium, but considering all the black that we passed, I mean, I'm willing to switch out colors if I have to. So might just take Devils as the most powerful card. Dragunder, I don't know if we've been seeing much blue. We passed the two Heralds, and I think Devils is the best card and could move into Red-Green Werewolves maybe. This also might just be an aberration pack, but yeah, I think Terrarion, it'd be a little too all-in to take the Terrarion here, and you can usually end up with Terrarions later in the draft. So a lot of good white cards, a Tattered Haunter, Weirded Vampire. This is looking pretty rough. Extricator of Sin and Tattered Haunter, I think, are options. I guess white has been the most open of everything. So maybe I just take Extricator. It's also a Delirium card, so maybe I could make maybe green-white Delirium work. Desperate Sentry, Villain Pack Outcast, Geist-Fueled Scarecrow. This is going to be an interesting draft. I can feel it already. Geist-Fueled Scarecrow with Delirium can be cool. It's an artifact creature, and it works okay with Prey Upon. I mean, the Outcast, if we want to move into red, it's just been weird. Like, we see the Devils and then an Outcast. Red seems kind of open, but red doesn't really fit with everything else that we're doing. And Desperate Sentry could be nice for a Merge or a Delirium type thing. So I think it's between Desperate Sentry and Scarecrow. I think it's really close. I'm gonna go with Sentry. Here's a Mournwillow, Borrowed Grace, Steadfast Cathar, Light Maniac, and the next pack is the one with all the black cards and the Grapple with the Past. So this is, I suppose, not a tough pick. It's just going to be the Mournwillow in case if black-green ends up being okay, but I don't think it will. The problem is Borrowed Grace isn't looking like it's going to do much. Cathar doesn't do much, so I mean, we should table something decent here, and we don't get anything back, just a Wailing Ghoul. And, you know, the Ghoul's fine in Delirium, but there were like 4 good black cards and a good green Delirium card, and none of them came back. So I think I take the Ghoul. You could take Mantle. I suppose the draft is sort of telling us to go for some kind of aggressive white deck, but maybe Pack 2 ends up okay for Delirium. I am kind of just hanging on, but I do have an Ishkana, so there's definitely reason to try to make this deck work. But I will say all the signs are telling me otherwise. Or not all the signs. I mean, there's enough to keep me into Black-Green Delirium, but something is definitely off. And I am worried that this could be a train wreck. So we have Stromkirk Condemned, Grapple with the Past, Choking Restraints, Werewolf Bombardment, Lashweed Lurker. This is a very powerful pack. The best card for the Delirium deck is just the Grapple with the Past. The Condemned is okay, it lets you discard, but its double black is kind of hard to get to. So I think it's as good as Grapple. Lurker could maybe splash. If we are moving into white, Choking Restraints is going to be the best card. I feel like white is kind of where it's at. Unfortunately, I don't think the Grapple is ever tabling. And, I mean, it is good with Ishkana as long as we're green. But we just didn't see any green after Pack 1. So I think I'm going to go with the Restraints. Just kind of follow what the draft is telling me to do. But here, I mean, the rare was taken, so this isn't really a signal. But there are a lot of good green cards. There's some decent black. The Captive is usually the best card. There's a Flow. No white. Probably Captive. Scavengers can be good if you're going to fill your graveyard up. Prey Upon's also nice, but I'll go with Captive. Somberworld Stag, Choking Restraints, Grapple. I'm going to take the Stag. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a good sign that the Restraints is there if I'm going to move into white, but I'm most likely going to be green. Can't really do black-white. We just don't have powerful enough cards to make just black-white work. And if we were black-white, even then we would still need to splash Ishkana for power. But I'm going to stick with green. Still worried about Pack 3, but this pack's looking okay so far. So we have a Crop Sigil, the Garrison. Yeah, the red was cut pretty well in Pack 1. So if we took the Devils and then the Villain Pack Outcast, we would have gotten a good Pack 2. But the problem is it just didn't fit with the rest of our cards at the time. So, like, we're not getting much value off Ishkana if we're red-green. So that's why I decided to go in a different direction. Here, I guess it's just Crop Sigil over Desperate Sentry. It's a good Delirium enabler. It's great with Ishkana. The Horde Swarm, another Crop Sigil. I love Grizzled Angler. but we are not blue, so I think I'm just going to take another Crop Sigil. This might just be turbo Ishkana.deck. We'll take a Prowler. Some good options here. Hamlet Captain's just a decent 2-drop. I think its ability doesn't actually do too much. Every once in a while you're going to get a +1/+1 for an attack, but then your opponent's just going to kill it. Like, they'll just trade a bear for it. Survivalist has a bit more upside. Bloodbriar. We have Crop Sigils. So it's not a ton at the moment. Usually gets best in the last pack when you get some clue synergy. I could go for a 2-drop, I guess. Or Survivalist. Maybe Survivalist. It's our first 4-drop. It does have Delirium, so there's some value there. So I imagine there's just no black to be had at this table entirely. But I might just stay black-green. Here there's a Grapple, Rise from the Grave, and Scavengers. I could also just be green-white Delirium, so I think I am just going to take the Grapple. But yeah, Scavengers and Rise are both great. Rise being able to just get Ishkana directly into play is pretty sweet, but Grapple does just about as good of a job. And another Grapple. Honestly, I'm just going to take as many Grapples, as many Crop Sigils. We'll take a Terrarian here, which is great, because we definitely might splash. We have a Choking Restraints, Boon of Emrakul, another Grapple. Let's go. I'm all in on Grapples. So normally you wouldn't want to play 3 Grapples and 2 Crop Sigils. But look at our deck right now. How do we win a game? It's only with Ishkana. Like, that's our only win condition right now. We could flip an Uvenwald captive. But it's basically Ishkana. So I'm just going to try to, mill myself as quickly as possible. And I've got 3 cards. I have 5 cards that can get back Ishkana. So I'm going to cast Ishkana, let it die, cast it again, and just go nuts. Just treat this like the Spider Spawning deck from original Innistrad. You could take a Cemetery Recruitment, but we've got so many. I want to get some defense against decks with flyers, so Swift Spinner could be good. I mean, the deck is just stall and find Ishkana. If Ishkana is the bottom card of our deck, we lose. But that's just something that I think we have to accept at this point. So, Ishkana or bust. Not the place I wanted to be in this draft, but if we could somehow win, whoa, there's a Sorin. That's a card that does maybe give us another win condition. That's just perfect. So Ishkana plus Sorin. Does Crop still get back Planeswalkers? Please say no, it doesn't. Grapple just gets back creatures. I mean, they both get back creatures and lands. So I could easily mill the Sorin, and I don't have any way to get it back. Whatever. Alright. We're doing it. Let's go. This prototype is not looking very good right now. I'm probably not emptying my hand. I do have a Terrarian for Artifact right now. Well, there's a Trisk. We could have had Trisk with the Tree of Perdition. Probably just going to take Angelic Purge, though. Reaper is just too much white mana. Arrow Falcon Wrath could be good, but I don't know if discarding our own cards is that important. We don't have any Delirium, so we'll just take a good removal spell. So Supplicant, Wailing Ghoul, Morn Willow probably getting cut. Maybe just splash Boon and Sorin. And we could put the Desperate Sentry and Extricator of Sin in. So probably green-white with the black splash. So I don't expect to see much good black this pack, considering how pack 1 and 2 went. Well, those are good black cards. There's a Groundskeeper, which actually seems pretty cool in this deck. Fork in the Road, and there's Dread Knight, Biting Rain. Biting Rain also seems very good. Probably just take Dread Knight. Like, it's another win condition. Can help us get to Delirium. I don't know. Didn't really want to get into the double black territory. Can I somehow just take a groundskeeper? Because it's obviously a good groundskeeper deck, in the sense that at least I'm going to get a lot of lands into play. Because I have so many things that get lands in the graveyard. But, you know, what am I going to do with, like, 9 lands? Yeah, let's take the Dread Knight. And Perish Blade, Aim High, Crow. I think we just take Crow. Just more Delirium. And since we have Dread Knight, I guess we're pushing back towards black. Compulsion. So we'll cut Sentry. And maybe we could still splash the Extricator. It seems pretty easy for us to get to Delirium. So it's still pretty powerful. And I mean, all the grapples, the Crop Sigil, they kind of work as fixing too, to be able to get, to be able to find a plains. And we have Terrarian. Apparatus is okay. Probably Watcher in the Web. Though it's our 4th 5-drop, that's a little clunky. But, you know, it is the kind of card that we want for a deck like this, just to stall the game. So maybe the black gets back in, like Mornwillow. Not huge on Mornwillow here. So we're not really going to be attacking. Behind the scenes, I guess I'll just take a Drifter in case we wanted to have more of a white base. But probably not Mornwillow. I'll play Crow, maybe Ghoul. I guess we only have Ghoul and Captive as 2 drops. Swift Spinner could go. Got a decent number of reach cards. The Patrol hopefully could go. Macabre Waltz, I mean, we have so much with the grapples and the sigil, so we don't need that. Dire Swine or Apparatus. Dire Swine is decent, but I think I'm going to go with Apparatus. Give us our 2nd artifact we can sacrifice, and just a way to deal with a small creature. Currently at 23. So, yeah, pretty crazy deck. Definitely have not drafted anything like this in this format. Warp Landscape. I don't even know if we run that. Okay, we got the Groundskeeper back. I think that's going right in the deck. Perish Blade might be fine. Could make a choice of either like black or white to try to make the main color. Or we could do like a double splash. And I'm not sure. Like, I think we want to run the Dread Knight, but I could be convinced that the double black's kind of awkward, and I mean, it does win games by itself. So probably want it, but I mean, the game plan of just infinite Ishkanaz, it doesn't really need a Dread Knight. So do we run Landscape? I mean, it's a very slow fixer, and we do have a lot of ways to get lands out of the graveyard already, or sorry, lands into the graveyard, so it's not that important for Delirium. I kind of just despise this card, honestly. Having to pay 3 mana, basically tapping it and paying 2 to sacrifice to, you know, find the land to turn this from colorless into a colored mana source. Like, that basically takes up a whole turn. That's just a lot of mana. So yeah, I just don't like this card. If you don't have ways of getting to Delirium, then sure, like, it just lets you get land in the yard. I think that's okay. But I mean, I could run it here, but I almost don't even want to. Just have so many better ways of getting lands in the graveyard and for fixing. I mean, I guess it depends on how intensive I want to have black or white. Because I probably would want to cut down one a little bit. The Perish Blade is decent, like 4/2 first strike, 4/3 is not bad. Also Desperate Sentry, Just because with Delirium it's a 4/2, so that could be cool. So maybe I want to cut down the black and go for white main, but then there's the Dread Knight, which I could also try to fit in. I mean, it could just win games by itself. I mean, I am a bit short on win conditions. If Ishkana is near the bottom of the deck, I'm just going to be sitting there for a while. Like, I might have control of the game, but can't actually win because I don't have a win condition. So, I mean, Sentry also good with Purge, Extricator. Maybe I could cut Crow. And Crow's obviously great, but I already have the 2 sigils, the 3 grapples. I could cut like a sigil or a grapple, but I do want to just go Turbo Ishkana. Keswick Prowler, I like it. It's something early, can trade, and then get some value late game, so I don't want to cut that. So yeah, it could be Apparatus. I'm thinking I'm going to cut Crow. Maybe Dread Knight at this point. Makes the mana a lot better. We're 23 now. Like, I can probably justify the double splash. But let's see what the mana looks like with this. 3 swamps for 3 cards. 10 forests, that's nice. Then 4 plains for a little more. Maybe 1 more plains, 1 less swamp. I don't know. It feels kind of wrong not to play the Dread Knight. It's possible I should just make it work. Like, cut Perish Blade, cut Sentry, get in Crow, get in Dread Knight, and then just mess the mana around. So just 3 plains and 5 swamps. Alright, we'll try that. Think Dread Knight is just good enough to justify it. Could also cut Apparatus for Sentry, maybe. Shouldn't be too hard to get Delirium with this deck. Given Crow, 3 grapples, 2 crop sigils, and Extricator Purge help us get stuff in the yard. And we do have a Terrarian already, so I don't know if it's that important. So I'll cut it. I'll get the Desperate Sentry in. Okay, there we go. I'm pretty excited to try this one out, so I'll see you guys for round 1. Okay, let's get started. Keep this. Alright, turn 1 crop sigil. Hope we don't mill the Sorin, but it might happen. Pretty crazy. There's that card Shambleback from Shadows. Black instant, exile target creature card from a graveyard, put a 2/2 into play. That card could destroy us. If someone sided that in, realized they were just on the Turbo Ishkana plan, that might cause us some trouble. But we did get the Dread Knight in, so we could also just win with Turbo Dread Knight. I will say, you know, for as weird of a draft that this is, I'm really glad that we ended up in this spot. I love decks like this. This really reminds me of the original Innistrad, the Spider Spawning deck, with just turbo milling your deck, looking for a couple key cards, and just grinding out your opponents. So yeah, I'm really excited to play this. Ever since I saw Ishkana, I actually have played Ishkana before. It's been amazing. I haven't lost a single game that I've casted. But this is just like the, you know, make sure we draw and play Ishkana every game, and I love that plan. Okay, opponent just plays a plains. And we got Terrarian in the yard, we got our swamp, so it's looking good. Okay, Dawngriff, Desperate Sentry, got the Groundskeeper, so we've got infinite mana this game. Definitely playing Groundskeeper. And I think we Restraints the Griff. We definitely have some ways to deal with 2/2 flyers in the deck, so I'm not entirely sure. but it's going to be 2 damage every turn for a little bit. We do get to guarantee preventing 2. I mean, this is our only piece removal. We're probably... Like, opponent's probably going to play something that's a bit more threatening. So I guess I'll just sit back. I could go for a grapple here. Minimum, we're going to get back a Desperate Sentry. We're going to find some more lands. We're going to get us closer to, getting back our Ishkana. But you could also wait to try to get something a little more powerful back. I think it's probably worth just doing it. And the quicker we get through our deck, the faster we're going to get Ishkana, and then we can deal with stuff like Dawngryph, or just a Watcher in the Web too, or the Dread Knight. And with Groundskeeper plus all this mill, it should be pretty easy for us to get the second swamp for Dread Knight. But we can just wait to opponent's turn to do that with the Captive. Griff's Boon. Well, that makes me glad that I didn't Restraints, because I can just Restraints on the Griff. And then stop the Griff's Boon for the rest of the game. I'm going to do this now for mana, though. I mean, if I did just wait till my turn, I get to see one more card. So I get one more chance at seeing something like an Ishkana. That said, if I do drop Ishkana, then I'll probably just Crop Sigil for it soon enough. So I don't think it's a big deal. Might just be best to use my mana a little better. Because if I waited, I probably couldn't Groundskeeper, where if I do it now, I'll probably drop a land in the yard and get that back next turn while casting the Restraints on the Griff. Oh, well, we hit Watcher in the Web, so let's just take that. Yep, keep milling. There's Ishkana. 5 card types in the yard. Is this turn 4 Ishkana with Delirium? Wow. Boom. Get wrecked. Chat box. Okay, looks like opponent isn't commenting. We'll get in for 1 damage with the Groundskeeper. There's no Raise Alarm in this format. Opponent seems to be tanking a lot. They might be playing another match, but luckily for you guys, I've got the pause button, so this match will still go really fast. Apothecary Geist, okay. Block. Okay. I mean, I guess I want to get the boon back at some point, but it still seems like a pretty interesting attack. So we can play Watcher. Yeah, I guess we play... Well... I guess we're going to take the 2 damage. I also sort of just want to get 3 lands back this turn, and then we can just keep hitting land drops for the rest of the game. I think that's better. Like, having Watcher out is pretty nice. Like, we have to prevent a little bit of damage to ourselves, but our life total is so high. So I feel like we're doing better just guaranteeing land drops for the rest of the game, basically. Okay, Fiendbinder. Get land back. Get land back. We milled the grapple. That sucks. Let's go for Watcher, I think. We'll just pass. Oh wait, I have no more lands to get back. I was thinking I was going to get back a land. Near Heath Chaplain, okay. So I think it's time to just start draining with Ishkana. Could also flip the captive, but don't think there's any need for that. I mean, we're not really close to getting decks, so just gonna keep passing. I'm gonna keep using the Crop Sigil. Like, we might find the Dread Knight. Okay, boon on that. I think I just restraints it, lock it down. I mean, it's a pretty useful creature to begin with. So I feel like just restraints that. I'm going to stop Crop Sigiling. I mean, they're at 6, so they're basically dead here. No reason to show more cards from our deck. Like, I don't want to show the Sorin if I can avoid it. Okay, just pass, ping and ping. Opponent can attack with Chaplain, gain a little bit of life. But I might be able to just swing back for lethal on the next turn. Actually, maybe I should just restrain. Yeah, I should just restraints the Chaplain. Just give them one less turn. I mean, I can just drain an all-in attack. I don't think there's much they can do. Sure. So, mono-white weenie deck so far, though. They had a bunch of cards in hand. They could very easily be 2 colors. I mean, it's more likely white aggro deck is 2 colors anyway. So maybe red, black, green. Or even blue. Apparatus is probably good. Deal with an early flyer. The Ghoul is okay. Swift Spinner should be good. Could ambush that 2/2 flyer. I don't know. Crow is also good. Sentry is pretty good too. I mean, it might just be cutting other good cards for these cards that aren't quite as good. Yeah, I don't need the Apparatus. Spinner, though, might be better than the Survivalists. Or maybe Sentry. They did seem to be pretty air-focused. The Sentry is usually good against aggressive white decks, just to get in the way. And Survivalist is not quite a win condition, but 5/4 Trampler still can do some work. It's good with the Prey Upon, which otherwise doesn't have a ton of targets, so yeah, I don't think I can cut that. I guess Sentry. I do want the Swift Spinner, though, so just Sentry out. Could also, cut down the black, but I like the Crow, and the Dread Knight still seems important. Okay, another turn 1 Sigil. And another turn 1 Sigil, turn 2 Captive, actually. Same start. Okay, there's black mana, and there's a Lone Rider. That could be a problem. We have a decent number of removal spells that can get rid of that. Okay, Griff's Boon, that's not quite all there. Ooh, Guardian. Wow, used 2 cards and got there. Well, this could be a problem. I mean, we have a couple white removal spells that could kill that. Oh, we got there. Wow, first turn. Just drew it. Well, as long as they don't have some kind of enchantment removal, that's a big deal. We stop the boon and we stop the It that rises one. That's pretty insane. So, sack another permanent, right? Oh no, let's just go for Watcher, I suppose. Maybe. Yeah, we'll go for Watcher. I was thinking about going for Extricator Sigil. Now, you could sack one of the Sigils, but I don't know. Sigils could be pretty powerful late game. Extra land, probably not going to be that useful. But also, I just want to get the Watcher in play first if I'm going to sacrifice a land. Oh, we can sacrifice Terrarian. That's good. I mean, it gives us black for Crow, but we'll find black soon enough. And this gives us Delirium, right? Wow. I mean, we needed that Choking Restraints. Without that, like, it's game over. Okay, Shieldmate. But given that we did get it, our deck is humming. When Terrarian sacks, you just draw a card. It's not like when you play it, you draw a card. Or it's not like when you activate it, you draw a card. It's when it goes to the graveyard, you draw a card. So we actually just drew a card off sacrificing its Extricator. And now we have Delirium, and we have a Watcher in the web, and we've got this Extricator that says sacrifice a non-Eldrazi creature, put a 3/2 creature into the battlefield. So that's nice. That's going to flip. We got a Stag in the yard. All these triggers. Don't hit my Sorin. Okay. No black mana yet. No, can't really do anything, actually. This doesn't attack, this doesn't flip, and just pass. Probably gonna, like, triple block the Faithbearer Paladin if opponent attacks, or I could just double block, but whoa. Okay, looks like Borrowed Grace. But I mean, wait, if this is Borrowed Grace, I can just, yeah, that's a terrible attack. I could just put the 2/5 on the Guardian and the Extricator on the Shieldmate, and that's gonna be really bad for the opponent. And if they attack with Faithbearer, I could just double block, right? Yeah, they changed their mind. I could get a Stag back, but let's just keep milling. Let's find the Ishkana. There it is. How much does this cost? I think I'm one short. Wow, we're even protected from Shambleback, so we can like double sacrifice Sigil. Lost a Swamp, but we have a Grapple. So could grapple for Swamp if we need to. Oh, and Watcher's a Spider, so we're actually hitting for 5 a turn. Oh, was that the case before? It might have been. So how much mana do we have? We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we don't draw a Swamp, we can just grapple for it. And we still have a Crop Sigil to get something back too. Slayer getting back nothing. Okay. 15 cards in the deck. So we're going to grapple, we're going to 12, we're going to draw a card, we're going to go to 11. The opponent is at 23, but we're draining for 5 a turn. I mean, at some point I think I am going to stop using the Sigil. Maybe I should just stop now. and just give myself a few extra. Well, like if I just draw a swamp, I guess I'm just not going to use grapple or sigil for a while, and maybe I could just get the Sorin. So I think I'm just going to stop. Nice. We're going to grapple though, because we got to get the swamp to start using Ishkana, I think. Or we wait one more turn, get the Swift Spinner out, and we get to drain for one more every time. Now let's just grapple. Angelic Purge. Okay. Now, it did kind of seem like opponent had Bard Grace, so maybe they're just trying to get out a ton of creatures and getting a huge turn. So I gotta be a little careful. Okay, Thali's Lancers, hopefully not getting anything. But yeah, I gotta be, okay, not getting anything. I think we just drain. But I do want to get some stuff out for, so now do I mill? What's the other good creature I could find? The Dread Knight? I mean, Dread Knight isn't even good here. I think I'm going to stop milling. Groundskeeper, nice. So 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, so you can go Keeper. Get a land back. Play it, and then drain. And the game's not over yet. There are certainly cards that they could draw that could make things tough. They have a lot of creatures out. So do I want to drain here? It's for 5, they go to 13. I think the clock is the same. Well, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10. So if I get up to 11, I can go Spinner and drain in the same turn. But that doesn't actually take a turn off the clock. But if I go Spinner now, then I drain for 3 returns. So it's going to be 3 turns either way. So I think I do go for Spinner. Gets more stuff on the board. I get to use Groundskeeper. Get another land back. And the clock is the exact same. Do I Sigil now? I think I'm still just not going to Sigil. If I get a Swamp, that's kind of good. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, no biggie. I mean, could I double activate Ishkana eventually with the Groundskeeper? I've got 2 lands in the graveyard. That's 2, 3, 8, 11, 13, 14. So in 3 turns, I could just double activate. Though in 3 turns, opponent's dead already. It does mean that if I wanted to, I could just spend the time casting more cards and just getting more stuff on the board. I mean, maybe that would be correct, though. I don't know, maybe they kill Ishkana eventually, so I don't want to lose my Crop Sigil yet. I only have 1 Grapple left in the deck. And if Grapple's in the bottom 4 cards, I'd mill myself out, right? So let's just pass. I guess they also have Faithbearer Paladins, so they're going to be able to get 1 extra turn on the clock. And they are attacking with it. I might go... I mean, I prefer not to have to flip the captain. I'm attacking with both. I guess I'll have to flip the captains, like... Don't want to lose the spider. Don't care about the horror token, though. Let's go Captain Extricator. And then just like a horror token. No effects. I think I flip. I could just let these trade. That would also not be bad. If I flip, if they have some kind of removal spell, like a throttle, that would be awkward. I mean, why are they making this attack and putting the captive first, right? Like, I just flip it. I mean, like, okay, I guess maybe they just want to gain the life, but I mean, they've pretty clearly had a trick this whole time. I mean, at least based on them, like, almost attacking and then not attacking. That looked like a tell. So they go up to 21. I get to drain for 6 and a turn. It's just weird. I mean, this is going to be a 4-6, so what are they going to play that's going to hurt me for flipping? Like a throttle in response. It doesn't kill me, but it's awkward. Like, they get to gain 3 life, they still have the paladin back. Like, my board is starting to get a little smaller. What else could it be? I mean, Bard Grace is... They shouldn't have put the captive first. Bard Malevolence doesn't do it. Like, they need some... Like, almost all the tricks I can think of. I guess if they do kill it, I can sacrifice it to the Extricator. And I get a 3-2 out of the deal. So, that's enough for me to be okay with this. So, 6-7... Let's just tap this. Yeah, so we'll flip it. Worst case, oh no, it's well, it is an Eldrazi, so I guess I couldn't sack it, but that's if it's like throttle. I guess throttle still does it. All right, well, the deciding factor to get me to block like this, I guess, ended up not doing anything, but it was the correct play since they didn't have anything. So yay. I mean, I could have blocked a lot worse, right? I could have blocked such that Borrowed Grace would be really good for them. Yeah, I'm just going to stop sigilling. I might end up just going all the way through my deck. So, Compulsion. Just because that card's kind of annoying. So, we drain for 6. What's this? Bruna? Abundant Maw, sacrificing it, maybe? It's Bruna. Wow. At least Bruna has Vigilance, so Compulsion didn't matter too much. So Bruna is annoying. I mean, not necessarily the worst thing in the world. Oh, actually, the Abomination gives us 2 mana now. So 3, 6... 8, 11, 13. We actually get to double drain next turn. That's amazing. So that's a lot better. That speeds up our clock by a full turn. Nothing in the graveyard. We could get back something, but we don't want to. I mean, I guess... Oh wait, the double drain doesn't change anything. Or it does, yeah. Yeah, okay, it does change the clock. Could sacrifice the Groundskeeper, get another bigger creature. I guess I'll sigil at this point. No. No, I won't. Alright. Just pass. Apothecary Geist, that doesn't change anything. If opponent doesn't realize it, I'm gonna deal them 24 damage by my next turn. So I'm just gonna take 5 from the Bruna. If I did the math right. And I did. All right, sure, Crop Sigil. And it's the Sorin. I got to show it off there. All right. So, beat... I mean, it was all down to that choking restraints, because I mean, I have Murderous Compulsion, Angelic Purge, Sorin, and Restraints, and Somber World Stag, and maybe Prey Upon eventually. So I guess I had a decent number of outs to deal with it, but I drew it the first turn, and that helped out a ton. Could have been multiple turns before I was just taking hits. So, yeah, that was awesome. I'm really happy with this deck. Can't wait for round 2. So, see you guys in a moment. Okay, we're back with round 2. Let's play first. And what is this? No Crop Sigil opening turn? I guess I should just talk about Crop Sigil for a moment. Yeah, I think it's a great enabler for Delirium decks. Possibly on par with a card like Vessel of Nascency. Because it will get you Delirium eventually. It does take a little bit of time. But the fact that it both gets you Delirium and will find whatever bomb you're looking for eventually is really powerful in these kinds of decks. I think this is a pretty extreme example, given we have an Ishkana. But, you know, maybe you have some other creature, even just like a Dusk Feaster. And you can just get to search for it, and you know, you eventually find it. And yeah, Sigil, it's kind of like a tutor, really. It's like a slow tutor. It eventually finds the best creature in your deck, most of the time. So I actually like the card quite a bit. Plus, it's an enchantment as well, so if it mills some other way, you get an enchantment in the yard. So, alright, opponent, turn 1 Dryad. We're not going to sack the Terrarian, because we could easily need the white mana. We're not trading yet with the Dryad. And they have a captive too. So, good news is we can stag to kill the captive next turn. That's going to be a pretty huge play. As long as we're not getting Waxing Moon, that would be sick. Okay, we'll take 1 from the Dryad. Oh, they do get to ramp out something. Solitary Hunter, that sucks. Yeah, Hunter could be a problem. Yeah, I really hope they don't flip it next turn. I mean, I could just stag trade, which feels really awful, but I don't know. Possibly I should consider it, because a 5/6 is gonna be a pretty big problem. I guess like our captive's eventually just gonna become a 4/6 and can hold that off. So I am just gonna wait. I mean, you know, because if we do kill it, it's playing it super safe compared to, you know, getting this amazing trade on the captive, and you know, it does require them to not play a spell for a turn. Then I can maybe play 2 spells. There might be a spot where I could eat the Hunter as a 3/4. Attack? Well, I mean, I do want to make this trade. I just feel like this is more likely a trick. And it turns off our Prey Upon. But, I mean, yeah, like, letting this flip, it's going to be more trouble. The trick is also going to be a pretty big problem if I don't do this now. Like, what if I go for Prey Upon on Stag and then get tricked? Whoa! Just straight up trade? Okay, and then grapple. Alright, get it back. Okay, they got Lurker, Island in the yard. I wonder what they'll get, because they might need their island. I mean, maybe they were just okay with that trade, just while I'm tapped out. So like, I don't have any tricks, right? Prevent something like Rabid Bite, too. So they're the green-blue Emerge deck. Also, two card types, well, three card types towards Delirium. Land, instant, and creature. So they took back, oh, the captive, huh. I guess it can flip soon. Crop Sigil, okay, so we can kind of start getting going here. This might be a good turn to sack the Terrarian, because now that I have Crop Sigil Groundskeeper, I can probably find white. I just, like, if there's like a white card direct, like 2 cards down, it could be a problem. But if I draw like a 2-power creature, I can prey upon the captive now, which would be cool. So I think I am going to sacrifice. I'm going to get white and black, I think. Wait, yeah, white and black. Alright. Okay, opponent leaves up 6 and passes. This could be the draw 3 instant. Could be the 3/3 flying spirit. Alright, no Sorin, no Sorin, no Sorin. Planes. Alright, that's good. So we have captive, so let's just sit back and flip. And then we can groundskeep back the planes on our next turn. Primal Druid, okay. It's kind of a waste. I guess they could emerge at this turn. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Okay, Wretched Griff. Well, that's pretty much fine. I might just prey upon that with the captive. Oh, they have Swamp too. That's a little scary. I feel like 3/4 flyer at the moment is more important than the captive, which will be a 4/6. Okay, just another land. Let's get back planes. Play it. Prey upon that and pass. Then I think we get back the... Like currently we have Delirium. So I suppose I'm not entirely sure I want to get back the land. Like it shouldn't really matter. Like I don't think I'm going to Crop Sigil back the Stag yet. So we'll see what they do. Maybe they tap out for something. I want to kill the captive. I mean, that's pretty good value. Yeah, just take one. Looks like they're gonna... Well, okay, they're just gonna sit back and flip the captive. I guess I can't use Stag then, so I'll get the force back. No, I'm gonna wait. Like maybe I immediately draw an Ishkana and get to cast it with Delirium. So, and I doubt I'm gonna need, like, I'm not gonna run out of mana next turn. So, yep, that's. I just have to not get a land back with Crop Sigil. Turn up to 1 target creature and 1 up to 1 target land. And don't have a counter, please. Oh, can I? Oh, I can get the land back too. Because I have Delirium. Oh no, but then I want to Delirium for Ishkana, so... Hold on, cancel, just make sure I got this right. Alright, just Ishkana. Yes. Okay, seems good. Fortunately, I don't have that sigil still going, but I got the Ishkana. That's what I'm hoping for. That was the whole point. So if they attack with A-Bomb, I probably just take it for a turn. I don't currently have a way to get back Ishkana. So if it dies, well, never mind. That's probably fine. This Dryad, though. Groundskeeper for Dryad, maybe? Though, I guess Groundskeeper could get me to double Ishkana, so... We'll just take the hit this turn. It might end up being like... Well, I guess, they might get Delirium soon. Maybe I should just trade this. Yeah, I think I should just trade it, just to prevent eventual Delirium. So we have 4, 7, we have a ton of mana. So I'm still... Wait, enchantment? We have 5 card types now. Okay, now I can get back... Oh, I messed that up. That's right. I could have gotten the land back already. Not a big deal, but didn't change anything. But I forgot that the crops that go in the yard means we already have Delirium. So yeah, we'll get the land back. Oh, that's a combo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And feel like land is right. So we have the Groundskeeper combo with Dreadnought. Is it Dread Knight? Yeah, with Dread Knight. So we can just pay 5 mana to put 2 counters on the Dread Knight and not have to discard. So just keep discarding the land, getting it back. I'm just gonna trade off a Spider here. I mean, eventually that hurts our clock, but I think a 3/3 Death Touch is going to be pretty annoying. Like, they have 3 card types currently. Okay, Scavengers get it back, sure. I don't know, we've got a pretty good clock with the Dread Knight. I think they're dead next turn. Oh, maybe I should have played land. I don't know what the math comes out to. I mean, dealing 9 is plenty, so we'll just pass. Look at that bounce spell. I'd rather deal 9 now and go for 11 next turn. Alright, that was good enough. Oh, this deck's crazy. I love it. So they're kind of bug, emerge, some werewolves. They're a bit all over the place. No real bad cards, though. Like, their card quality is relatively high overall. So I don't need a spinner. Something that could deal with big creatures early. Nothing on our board does that. The Perish Blade is interesting, because eventually 4/2 First Strike can handle their Lurker. So that could be a good blocker late. But, I mean, what do I want to cut? Certainly not a Crop Sigil or a Grapple. The Watcher's still fine. The Survivalist just kind of trades with stuff. Crow's good. Sentry's still good. I mean, with Delirium, it's also a 4/2. So, I mean, it doesn't first strike the Lurker, but it's just as good. And it's better earlier. Okay, let's run it back. Okay, I think this is fine. We've got Boon for something. I may or may not go for an early grapple, though. I don't want to miss with it. They have a Turian. Prey upon. I mean, when I say miss, I mean I might have to take a forest, right? But I could find a plains, so maybe I just need to go for it. Could be pretty awkward, but we'll see what they do here. I mean, the more turns I wait, the more likely I am to hit with it. Bloodbriar. Okay, well that needs to die now. So I'm going to boon that. So I think I wait one turn on the grapple. Just get dead right now. And fortunately I drew a captive, so... Well, okay, on the other hand, I mean, it kind of depends what I draw, because, like, if I can get a creature and then let it hit the yard, then grapple's going to be more likely to hit. Crawling Sensation. Okay, time to grapple. And grapple for Groundskeeper. We lost the Crop Sigil, though. It's like, do you want to get a land? Or do you want to get a Groundskeeper that could get a land? I'm going to take the Groundskeeper. This opponent has Sensation. They miss. Well, they lose their Grizzle Angler, and that card is pretty insane. So I'm happy about that. With Dryad, and we got our Plains. So we could go for Groundskeeper. So this is a 1/1 right now. We could actually use Prey Upon on the Sentry. So we're at 3 card types in the graveyard without a creature. So maybe we just go for Sentry, next turn Extricator. Or if we get the land back, I guess we won't have Delirium. And I probably want to get the land back. Helps me flip the captive. Oh, I can just trade Sentry for a Dryad. Well, maybe. Probably not. Like, they have Terrarian. They're going to flip 2 more cards off Sensation. They can probably get to Delirium. Yeah, they have 3. They got an island, so Terrarium makes this the 3/3. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Prey Upon could still... Oh, wow, they didn't attack. That's good. Let's get the land back, I think. Oh, nice. Crop Sigil. Alright, I'm going to go Extricator... Sacrifice a Sentry. I think. Oh, maybe I sacrifice a land. I can just get it back with Groundskeeper anyway. Because the Sentry is close to being a 4/2 with Delirium. I mean, flipping the Extricator is nice, though. But, like, the 4/2 could just trade with the Dryad. That might just be better. So I sack land, play Sigil, get land back, maybe. I don't know. Maybe the land's just still coming back out of the graveyard after all that. But I'm just thinking that the Sentry actually has a decent amount of value just sitting there. Could be wrong, not sure, but this opens up some options, I think. I mean, the opponent could have something scary as well. They have the Crawling Sensation going. They're EOT sacking Terrarian. Behemoth or something. Okay, Scour. That's a good play. Okay, they put the Mockery in the graveyard, so that's good. Can't hit my Sigil, unless if they get it back somehow. And they might have ways to get creatures back. They seem pretty graveyard-focused. I've already seen a Midnight Scavengers. Foul Emissary. I mean, it depends what their finishers are. I guess they can choose to stop using Sensation at some point, so they get Scavengers, maybe get back Angler. I mean, Angler seems really good, though we can just kill it with the Stag. Okay, merging, maybe a Lurker. Okay. They could like put my Groundskeeper back, or maybe my Crop Sigil back. Okay, Captive back. I think I get the land. Or I could mill the Captive, keep the land there, get to Delirium. Then I have a 4/2 for the Lurker. How good is Captive? I mean, Captive also could deal with the Lurker eventually, but maybe I just want to get to Delirium. I think I'm okay with that play, so I'll just let this happen. Mill Captive. See a fresh card. So we're at Delirium. This turn is a little sketchy. I feel like I need to hold on to the Stag to deal with the Scavengers, but this Extricator being upkeep. This is a 4/2. I just don't know what else I can do, because Stag is only going to kill an insect, or it's not... Like, I could just trade it straight up with the Lurker, but I want to have a way to deal with the Angler if they get it back with Scavengers, because that's going to be... Like, forcing all my creatures to attack is going to be really insane, so I want to be able to stop that. I could make a tempo play of just Prey Upon Sentry at the Lurker, but I am at 20, so I'm probably safe. Just if they have a bounce spell for my Sentry and they attack with everything, like, that's pretty bad. I'm taking a lot of damage. I mean, I might just go Stag, just kill an insect, and then if they play Angler, I'll use the Prey Upon. I'm just worried about dying here, so I think I have to do this. And then next turn, the Extricator comes out, and I'm looking better. It's just this turn, I feel like I'm just taking a little too much damage if they have Bounce Spell. Okay, Scavengers. Yep, get back the Angler. Then I Prey Upon Stag, kill Angler. Okay. So kill Angler. Get back Forest, play Terrarian. Pass. Opponent milled again. So they only have 10 cards in their deck. I was going to say that, my deck we have Ishkana is just like a great late game finisher, but I mean their deck might not have as many win conditions. Like, they might win just through having some large creatures, and I can probably handle some number of large creatures before I die. So we're at 5 cards in the graveyard, so we can get back land. Alright, no Sorin, no Sorin, no Sorin. Okay, grapple. Yeah, grapple's pretty good. Let's sack the Terrarian first for black mana. Black and white, I think. And we'll use double green. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I mean, that could get... Well, they have a convolute in the graveyard, so we're probably fine. Yeah, let's just play Ishkana. And obviously, we have 2 ways to get it back if not. Alright, now I'm kind of low on clock. I'll try to speed things up a little bit. Because there's going to be a lot of triggers, and it's just a lot going on for the rest of the game. I mean, are they going to keep using the Sensation? That would be a little worrying. Okay, they stop using it. Because then it's like, okay, they have 1 card that they're just trying to mill in their yard to win. Ooh, Traverse, okay. So they get to find anything, but this is going to be their best creature. It's a Wretched Gryph. That's not really a problem. Yeah, Wretched Gryph, that's fine. Could use Extricator, sacrifice a Sentry, just get 2 3/2s, but at the moment I'm getting a 4/2 and a 3/2. That could be good if I want to... If opponent makes an all-out attack, I want to have extra blockers, but I think I'm so... Whoa! Mysteries. That could have been the problem earlier. I mean, now it's just not doing that much, right? I mean, go for it. Trade. I mean, unless if they have Seasons Past in their deck. Like, if they have Seasons Past in hand, then there's a problem. Without it, I don't know if I care too much about Mysteries. Like, they just have so few cards left in their deck. I think we grapple for Watcher of the Web. No Sorin, no Sorin, no Sorin. Good. Watcher. And land. What? Oh, okay, it's grapple, right? Not a land. I'll keep milling. Ooh, Compulsion. Watcher, okay, Groundskeeper, back a land, play a land, and pass. So we did use a grapple that eventually could be used in Ishkana, but we already have the Crop Sigil. I feel like Crop Sigil is enough backup, and I think we still have 1 more grapple left, just in case. Hopefully they don't have Decimator of Provinces. That would be stupid. That would definitely beat me at some point. But it looks like they're just going to get through the whole deck before I actually burn them out. So I'm just going to play as much defense as I can. And Watcher obviously does a great job of that. Get back planes. My turn. Yeah, I'm going to keep using Crop Sigil, I guess. Just keep hitting lands. I mean, like, if I hit a Sorin at this point, it was just kind of bad luck. So play Swamp. Could get back like a Sentry just or a Captive just for like a little extra defense. But so 6, 8, 10. I mean, they might just try to go wide to win. I don't know. I just don't like their chances if they don't have like a Decimator. And it's a Mythic. So it's not likely that they do. Okay, Behemoth. Behemoth is large enough to actually matter, but it's still pretty slow. Okay, Clusac. I mean, they need to be drawing into something because they're going down to 2 cards in the deck right now, so the Behemoth isn't even going to be fast enough. I'm trying to think if there's any other card other than Decimator of Provinces that actually does anything here. Like, as I said, seasons past, I mean, these are 2 Mythics that could potentially do something. Nope. Didn't have them. All right. On to the finals. It's amazing how, this draft started so exciting. It was so exciting, like Ishkana. And then Boon of Emrakul, then a Prey Upon. It's like, wow, we're about to get the sickest Illyrium deck. And then everything went off the rails. There was just, like, nothing. And things were getting really scary for the longest time. But then we got the Sorin, and, like, just enough stuff in the last pack. And then the deck actually turned out pretty insane. So, and a lot of fun. So, finals coming up. Really excited for that. Hope to take this down. I'll see you in a moment. All right, ready for the finals, and I guess this game will be a little bit different, because rather than the search for Ishkana plan, we already have an Ishkana. So, I'm just going to play some defense, use Grapple, maybe just to find a land. Ooh, that's pretty good against the Prowler, but it's not a fast clock, really. Okay, Swamp's nice. Maybe you don't have to grapple for land after all. Though, I mean, if opponents, they're red-white now, they're putting some pressure on. I mean, I can't just trade here. I have to take the 1 if they attack. I mean, maybe they'll just leave it back thinking that they might be on the defense, the defensive. Okay. Yeah, we'll just sit back and probably just need to grapple. Again, I do have 4 more ways left in the deck to get Ishkana back, so... but I think we just need to hit our land drops, and if I don't grapple and we just draw spells for 3 turns straight, we're going to be in trouble. So I'd rather grapple and miss. Than just draw a bunch of spells and not be able to cast stuff. I mean, Ishkana seems pretty insane against red-white. Just all those spider tokens. So we're going to go to 18. And I like that opponent isn't attacking with the Inspector. Makes me think that maybe their hand isn't as aggressive. Whoa. Masquerade. And wow, we were missing. Yeah, I think it's got to be the Stag. Like, Sentry could be good, but if we draw Plains, we can already cast a bunch of stuff, and Sentry would be one of the ones we want to play, but I think Stag just has higher upside, and then, we might not actually draw Forest. So, yeah, that was the situation where we don't even have a land on top, but not playing Grapple there means we probably just lose the game. Okay, we draw Forest, so we can go for Crow, and that should just about guarantee us Delirium here. I think I just jam in the Prowler now, because I can no longer block with it. And, like, given my hand, I don't think I'm ever flipping it for, like, a really long time, until the game is completely put away. So I think I'm okay with that trade. Oh, there's the planes we wanted, but at least we have Delirium. So Survivalist is now a 5/4. It's pretty nice. But I want that planes. Alright, don't be Stenzia Innkeeper, please. Ugh. Oh, that's bad. That was just about the worst card. We have to chump it. I mean, good news is we got the Ishka next turn if they don't kill Captive. But we gotta chump that this turn. It's a vampire gets bigger. Okay, lost another grapple. So just 2 ways to get it back in the deck. Oh god. Oh god, that's a problem. So we gotta chump that for a turn and then just throw the stag at it. And hopefully they don't have any tricks at this point. I mean, we might be fine. We do have an Ishkanon. I have not lost after resolving an Ishkanon yet. I've played it a good number of times. But Masquerade with a bunch of high power creatures could be a real problem. And if next turn they have some pump spell and get to smash through Ishkana, I'm going to be in trouble. Crop Sigil, cool. Delirium, yes. I suppose I could also take the hit from Gorgers and then just stag it anyway. Just get one more spider in play. Though, I mean, I almost died to Uncaged Fury. Though Fury would be pretty sick on the Innkeeper anyway, just killing Ishkana. Yeah, I think I just chump. Just keep the life total high. It's close though. Like chumping in the future could be. Oh, oh no. So, I mean, they have one card in hand, right? If it's like +3/+0, then it doesn't really matter how I block. That would be better to block the Innkeeper and just take 2 from the Cathar. If it's something like Borrowed Grace, then this is way better. It could be Fiery Temper, but I think there's a good number of cards where this actually just kills the Cathar. So I think I go like this, and then I think this too. Okay, they draw a card first. Oh, okay. Fiendbinder. Alright. One card in hand. So Fiendbinder is definitely a problem. I mean, the 5/4 could maybe hold off the Innkeeper. I guess if I just go 5/4 Sigil, take a hit from the Gorgers, maybe chump it with the Spider. That seems like it's fine. It's good use of mana. Yeah, this is correct. Alright, just pass. Alright, we're close to recovery. It's still like on a razor's edge. Just kind of depends what they have. If they're just bricking out or just drawing random smallish creatures, I'm okay. Oof. I guess they still have Borrowed Grace. I don't know if I have any good blocks if they have Borrowed Grace, unfortunately. Like, the Fiendbinder was a, I think it was a good idea to play around it last turn, but now that they have Fiendbinder, I mean, what can I really do? There's just nothing I can do. I mean, it might be Uncaged Fury, right? It's possible. I mean, I don't want this to get pumped, right? So I think I have to go like this. Yep, Bard Grace. Okay. Okay, it's not over yet. Cathar. I mean, we could still do this. It's just the Gorgers is now a bigger problem because I have to use the Stag to maybe kill something else. Okay, Swamp. So could use Sigil, play Extricator, make a guy. I gotta have something for the Binder. I could just go Stag, trade with Binder. Have to do something about this Gorgers for a turn. And then my Captive could flip and... No, but I can't do anything about the Gorgers for a turn. I could go Extricator, sack a land. I don't know, chump somehow. Sigil back Ishkana, replay Ishkana. You go Stag, just kill Cathar, but that just doesn't work. So it's probably Stag kill Binder. Maybe I just take a hit from the Gorgers at this point. Too bad I don't have one more mana this turn. Okay. At least I have no cards in hand. Pump there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I just go to 2. Like I could chump here, but then I can't Ishkana. I can't go Crop Sigil for Ishkana next turn. So I don't know. I think I just have to go to 2. Like I chump here. Yeah, I think I just have to go to 2. Sucks because I mean I lose to Pump Spell, there's top decked, and eventually I lose to Burn. Oh wow. Okay, that was sick. All right, we lose. Well, okay, we don't lose. Almost lose. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we're good. Shouldn't doubt the Ishkana. It's a very real Magic card. We do not lose. I have not given up hope. We're actually probably fine, but we're at 2, so that's a problem. We have decent enough blocks for this turn that we can go Extricator plus Purge. Okay, chump. Please no more. Oh my god. Oh, it's... Oh, it's so close. The boon. I mean, we can still do this. We can still do this, but I think the Outcast just has to die. I think. Yeah. So. All right, this is quite the game. Well, I mean, what if we killed the Masquerade? Can we do that? Probably not. No. Have to kill that. Sack of Plains, and then probably sack of Forest to captive. Or to Extricator. Hard to say. I mean, with the land, I can just about flip the captive, and I could maybe do a stack block on Gorgers. But let's just sack the land. Alright, it's not over yet. Game most definitely not over. I mean, it's bad, but it is not over. Let's chump with Spider Token. Okay, gets a flip. Groundskeeper, I like that. Makes me feel not quite as bad about losing all these lands. Attacking... maybe with the horror. No, let's just leave everything back. I think I just chump with horror. You could do like a triple block. I mean, maybe I should. They have 2 cards in hand. They probably don't have a trick. I basically trade Ishkana for Gorgers. And I'll get Ishkana back eventually, right? I have a Sigil, Grapple, Sigil. I only have 1 Grapple left. But I do have the Dread Knight, which could be lethal. Also, Ishkana is the only way I can block. Well, I have 1 Spider. But I also have a boon that could deal with the flyer. I mean, I could like block with a creature, sack, get a horror, block with the horror. I just eventually I have to actually kill this. I guess I have like a Murderous Compulsion, 14 cards left. I think I make the big block. Maybe I should put the captive on too. I don't know. Does that change anything? If they have like +1 to power, perhaps. Or like a shock. Maybe shock would still. No, shock would still get me. Okay, Deranged Whelp. Alright, alright. So we're looking good. Let's get back some lands. Oh wow, we would have had the Compulsion if we just chumped. So could have had the Extricator still. So could boon 1, 2, 1, 1. Think we save it. And then we could drain for 2 this turn. Or we could get back 2 lands. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little worried about that. Like, this turn I'm probably fine. But given something that happens with the Masquerade attacking with everything... Well, I guess I can just flip the captive. Alright, I'll wait a turn. I'll just flip captive. Definitely better than draining with Ishkana, given like how big their board could become very soon. Gossip Monger. I do have to be careful. Like, right now, I'm even on board because I have to have 2 creatures blocking the Whelp. So next turn, I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to boon, maybe the Gossip Monger, actually. Oh! That's a good one. Oh, I want to gain life. I don't want to be at 2. I like going to like 4. Don't want to die to Fiery Temper. I guess there's also that collective card, but 3. I guess I could go to 3 or to 5, deal 3 to something. Could kill the Innkeeper. I mean, I'm also just going to go for a boon. But no, I'll leave the Innkeeper. I think the Gossip Monger and the Whelp are the biggest threats. Like, Gossip Monger with Masquerade can be really annoying. Let's do 3. So I can beat that to collective deal 4 damage card. Alright, kill Whelp. Okay. We're back on the board. Things are starting to look actively good. That was like the big swing turn. Because every turn before that, I still just die to some random top deck. Okay, Brazen Wolves. And now I'm looking just about safe. So reveal, I think. Okay, yeah, they can't fly anything in. Yeah, let's reveal. Okay, don't lose anything, but now we got the Dread Knight going. 1, 2, get something back, play a swamp, use it. Alright, ship it back. Things are starting to... Yep, okay. Things are starting to look really good. And wow. I was so close to just packing it in at multiple spots there. Like with that 5-4, that 5-3 being us down with the Masquerade. Like we were falling so far behind when they had the Fiend Binder, when they actually had the Borrowed Grace, when they had the Otherworldly Outburst the very next turn to kill my 5-4. Like, that was a pretty ridiculous game. That was just amazing. So, could put Apparatus, Wailing Ghoul, Rotten Heart Ghoul. Don't really want the Spinner. They didn't really seem flyer heavy. So I might not cut anything. The Crow is fine. Prowler's fine. Yeah, everything's pretty good in this deck for this matchup. The Wailing Ghoul is a little tough on the mana to actually get it on turn 2. And, I mean, it stops some things, but it doesn't stop everything. A lot of the cards I worry about just have more than 2 power anyway. So, let's run it back. Okay, good enough. Sentry should be able to buy us a decent amount of time. Watcher can buy us more time. Okay, the same Inspector versus Prowler start. And we got Angelic Purge. That's really nice. Because I can deal with either really large creature or the Stensia Masquerade if it gets, if opponent has a good start with it. So I traded last time, but I'm not trading this time. I think with the Desperate Sentry, Deranged Whelp. Okay, that makes sense. Still not trading. Just gonna attack past. Usually don't want to attack past against a red-white deck, but given that we have the Sentry, and this isn't a turn 5 Ishkana, the turning the Prowler into a 4/4 could actually be pretty relevant this game. Oh, make mischief. Okay, mischief has been made. Okay, so the whelp is just going to keep getting in for a little bit until we can get the watcher out. Opponent has 3 cards plus a clue. They probably have something else, maybe another creature of some type, or some removal, or pump. Okay, Gorgers. Have a couple potential plays. So we can just purge the Gorgers with the Sentry, and then we get a 3/2, and then just sit back on that. So that's an option. I suppose I could also sack a land, but I think getting into Watcher on turn 5 is probably more important. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good play. The other one is like... I had some other play, like Prey Upon Sentry maybe, or go like Purge Prey Upon to trade all these off. But I'll take a little extra damage. I think I can do a little better than that. So let's just purge this, sack the Sentry. And we'll just wait. So take a little extra damage, but then we get to get Watcher out, and Watcher plus Prey Upon can just take care of the whelp. Or I can just double block the whelp and trade the horror for it. Okay, so take 3. Pretty important that the Watcher doesn't die. Otherwise, we're pretty vulnerable and just playing off the top of our deck. Drawn land's also not the greatest. I think I do just Prey Upon here, though. I mean, maybe they play something else that I need to kill, but I mean, I can only cleanly kill stuff with 2 toughness. Steadfast Cathar, or trading the horror. And I feel like the whelp eventually will be a problem. Like if they just shock my horror and start attacking for 2 every turn. Ooh. Okay. Let's just see who draws gas first. Fury Blade. That's not necessarily a problem. But it's close. Oh, come on. Guess I still play land. Pretty unlucky. 5 spells, 10 lands. Oh my god. Well, that was kind of the card. That could cause problems for me. That's... I mean, assuming they don't have anything in their hand, this isn't that bad. So I get to go like this, this, and this. And kill the devil. Otherworldly Outburst hurts. Borrowed Grace hurts, of course. If they have nothing, I'm sort of fine. Like, I'm going kind of low here. Going to 4, they have 2 creatures out. I can't kill either one. If they have another creature, I might die next turn. Like, I need to draw something. That's really not it. It's 11 lands, 5 spells. Yeah, you could play a land here, but like, if I play a plains, it's like, obviously I just drew the plains, right? So I don't want to do that. So, yep. Let's block here. I mean, we do have an extra turn, though, because we get to block everything next turn. Oh, rush, alright. Ow, that was pretty unfortunate. Okay, Wailing Ghoul is looking a little better. Gosh, always watching. Finding questions. Ghoul certainly doesn't do anything against that card. I think the Prowler's still okay. It's not great. Like 2/1 doesn't beat the 2/1s that get plus 0/3. Doesn't beat the Town Gossipmonger. Doesn't beat Inspector. Doesn't beat Deranged Whelp. Until you flip it, and so far haven't been able to flip it. Swift Spinner could ambush something. I don't know, maybe I go for Ghoul. It's just kind of a weak card. I mean, I could try it over Prowler. It's just in the late game, like this is a 4/4 and this is a 1/3. And milling 2, I don't think that helps me out too much. I feel like it's pretty easy for me to get Delirium. Alright, let's try this. Yep, we'll keep it. It's a little sketchy. I don't think I can mull, though. Like, we do have the turn 1 crop sigils, so, we're going to get our engine going. And then we have at least, with 1 land, we have a choking restraints, and then we can purge something. Ooh, that's a problem. This is a problem. I mean, part of the problem with the Wailing Ghoul is also just getting early black mana. That's not going to happen too often. Oh boy. Okay, I gotta just throw restraints out there. I'm getting beat down too fast. I just have to slow this down. Okay, well I can purge the watching at least. Lose the crop sigil. Puts me 1 off Delirium. I think I have to keep all my lands. I have to slow opponent down this turn. Just think I have to do that. Oh, don't. Okay, Innkeeper. Alright, Swamp, please, this turn. I need it. I need a Swamp. That's the forest. Okay. That was probably what I needed to come back this game. Just dropping to 8. Still need to top deck a land. Like, they could still have stuff. That's it. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Man, we didn't even get the swamp there. Alright, that's gonna do it. Yeah, shame to get mana screwed in the second and third game. But yeah, pretty sick deck. Yeah, lost to pretty fast red-white deck with some really broken enchantments. So yeah, I had an amazing time recording this video. Just such a great archetype, really unique deck. So really says something about this format in general. There's just a lot of cool things you can do with it, and with the right opens, you can make a really exciting, really fun to play deck with it. So hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.